John, how and why do you think things went so badly wrong this afternoon?
I think the why is something that we have to dissect over the next couple of days. Figure out what went wrong in terms of whether we set the side up in terms of team selection, etc. And that's something that we have to take responsibility for. And I think in terms of the how, look, obviously we conceded 3 goals in quick succession really early on, and every single goal we're always going to pick points out of goals and say that's a poor goal to concede. There's nothing we good to concede, but they felt particularly poor today, considering the importance of the game and the nature of the game. And we gave ourselves a bit too much to do. I think we got back in the game with that goal just before half time, and I had that belief that if we got another, if we did get the next goal, the game would change. But unfortunately, we had a bit of pressure to start the second half. We had a very good opportunity that went over the bar, and the next the ball's in the back of the net from QPR being very, very ruthless. There's loads to unpick. I think in the moment we know that what we've produced today isn't anywhere near good enough, and if you come away from any game losing by this margin, then there's a lot of some searching to do.
You've been in the dressing room for 45 minutes or so. What's been said and who's been talking in there?
That's just something I think we'll keep to ourselves at the minute. I think the positive is for me that everybody has been talking, but it's my responsibility. It's my responsibility in terms of how we've set the boys up today and what we've produced, and it always is. That's why I'm speaking to you after the end of the game. That's why head coaches and managers are the ones that get hired and the ones that lose their jobs. And that's something that I need to take everything that I've spoken about and heard in there, and hopefully turn it into something positive.
Why did you go with John Swift in the deeper role and Ebu Adams in the 10 today?
I think that where we've struggled recently is scoring goals. Obviously, I think that we've had a lot of control of games where we've probably felt like we've had a lot of possession. We drop down and we connect really well. We get the ball in some wide areas, but no real impetus in terms of getting in the box. And I think Ebu gives us that energy. To have to stretch in behind and to really connect with the centre forward. So that's why we did.
Ebu was inconsolable after the game. Was that just because of the situation, or was he picked up an injury?
I think he's picked up a knee injury, so we're going to have to see how that one plays out. But he's just isolated there.
How big a blow would that be?
That'd be massive. We need every player at this stage. So with how good Ebu's been, it would be a real blow.
Look, you went over to the fans afterwards. There was a pretty angry reaction from some of them. What message would you have for those supporters who are pretty frustrated today?
I don't think there's any hiding behind the fact that when we went over there, first of all to thank them for their support, because they didn't deserve that, and there's certain times, and I think there's certain players and staff that will go straight down the tunnel. That's not us. We've got to take our medicine, and what was said during the game, what was said after the game, we've got to live with it, right? We can't go and enjoy away wins at Millwall and away wins at Charlton without actually wanting to take it on board. So we didn't want to hide away from it. My message to the fans would be that we're not sitting in there saying that's acceptable. We're not all patting ourselves on the back and moving on, and we know that something needs to change. And there's a big element where we know at this football club, the fans can play a huge part in what we're trying to achieve towards the back end of the season. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, the fans will always play off and feel off what we give them on the football pitch, which today was obviously far from good enough. So we need support. There's no side that's ever got themselves out of a relegation battle without support. Understand the anger, understand the frustration. I'm never going to hide away from it. Absolutely spot on, and I'll take it on the chin. That's why I wanted to go over, because ultimately it's my responsibility.
Lastly, you said you need to figure out the why things went wrong today. How do you do that, and how does the next 2 weeks go?
I watch the game back first and foremost, and then think about the way that we set the side up. Think about team selection. Think about the way that we prepare during the week. From now back to the game after New Year's, where we lost to Bristol City. We've not done what we did today in any game, so we have to figure out why that happened and make sure that between now and the end of the season, It obviously doesn't happen again, but also make sure that when we do have chances to win games and when we do have chances to put points to the board, we take them. If you do that, then you afford yourself afternoons like today, as unacceptable as it was. I think there's been plenty of opportunities for us in the past few weeks when we could have picked up more points, and today becomes much less of an issue.
Do you give the players a few days off like normal, or do you need them back in straight away?
I think there's going to be a couple of days off, not too many, because you obviously need to come back and work. There's the mental break that I think that the boys need, the physical break, obviously. But we know that you don't solve any problems by being away from the training ground. I don't think we solve any problems in isolation with players that are thinking about what they need to do differently. I think there's a little spell where they can do that. There's a couple of days where you can do that, and then there's a lot of work to do.
Thanks, John.